Alright folks, Calvin here. I hijacked Eric's camera while he's working. So you missed a little this morning because the camera SIM card, memory card, was messed up and wouldn't let us record anything. So we got this all tack welded together, got a longer throttle cable on there so that all works right. Eric's putting the new welding tank on. We can finish welding all this together. We got the silver car fired up this morning. Could have put a different fuel pump in it. See if that fixes the problem. If not, hopefully it's just the fuel pickup tube's clogged and we can blow that out. So, time will tell. Make Eric do all the heavy lifting today.
Since I got a bumped shoulder.
Makes sense, right?
Oh yeah. Alright. Good to go.
So here's the other fuel pump we're going to use for the silver car.
Just an old Holly Blue.
Had to cut the, where's the end of it at? Here.
It's over here.
I didn't think he'd actually do it, but he did. He cut the end of his new piece off. But it fits, should all work. Just got to finish welding it, and it'll be ready to go. Maybe doing donuts in this thing tonight.
Maybe. Maybe.
You heard it.
Little mini tires that are on it now.
He said maybe. It's possible, folks.
Spin those huge 265s we can put on it. Not a chance it spins them.
In addition to Calvin coming down, he brought me a car that I've had at the house, in my parents' house in Indiana for a while. So 79 Daytona blue, sunroof, black interior, super clean, super nice car. Until my uncle backed his truck into it, but that's okay. We got another door on it now, just that little dent in the fender. Needs painted. Interior's pretty nice. It's my dad's truck and trailer. So, been playing musical cars. We got that up here. It's been raining off and on, so we put him under there, push the repu forward. All that's still hanging out. And I've been working on the vert. Now that the air compressor's off, stainless steel fitting. I just made a hole. This is where it's going to go. Sit right there, just towards the passenger strut tower. I'm going to take my Dremel and I'm going to widen this up a little bit, lay that thing on there, boom, weld it. Get this baby finished up. So, it seems like it's still losing a ton of pressure. So we're thinking that the pickup tube in the tank might be clogged, which could be a nightmare, because we have to drop the tank, pull the cinder out, clean it, and then hopefully put it back in and make it work. But I've never had the tank out of this. It has been sitting for a while just because it hasn't been getting driven much at all the last, I don't know what, 4 years basically, 3 years or so. So I drove it a lot, freshman and sophomore year of college, and then I got the FC, built the race car. This car got taken apart to build the race car, and trying to put it back together. So maybe that's kind of our next thing, is to play with the tank. It can't be that hard.
Kind of a mess we can make.
Yeah. So, looks like we're going to fire it up and we're going to drive it back under the lean-to so we can stay dry. And guess we're dropping the tank. Yo, so this video is kind of all over the place. But anyways, I've got a wideband hooked up on the vert. I've got the exhaust. Everything is buttoned up pretty much. I still need to put power steering fluid in it, but I want to light it off real quick, see what it does. So, especially with the exhaust hooked up and with the ECU and everything plugged in and the wideband. So I'm going to calibrate the wideband really quick. Oh man! It's quiet. Still pissing it out the bowls over here.
Yeah, it's running out the top over here too. So yeah.
Out the top where?
Like all around this is soaked.
Well, now we got too much fuel pressure. So we gotta figure out how to regulate that down. So this is your return line right here. this one.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to, because I think this is the vent.
Okay.
But if you want to slide under there and check them, make sure that's the return. And we can hook up, you can just put a barb fitting on the side of this and run a rubber line to it, and let it flow past, and then the fuel pressure we can set, and it should just feed out that pressure. Alright y'all, been skipping ahead, but anyways, we've got the water pump mounted. This is actually the brake duct. So I've been messing with trying to get all of my plumbing ran before I put coolant in the car so that I can run all the wires. So anyways, it's going to be hard to see under here, but right up, focus, right up in here, this is underneath the headlight. Okay, there used to be an evap canister in here. Basically, this sits up in there like that. It'll go up in the hole. My outlet side of the pump will pump down and come out right here. Go up to the front where the cooler is going to be mounted basically like right here. So one thing I don't particularly care for, I know some people like to go see it and whatever. I personally not like the fact that this is going to sit, it's hard to show, that this thing's going to sit like up in here and that you're going to be able to see it through the shark mouth here or whatever. So I'm probably going to paint this thing black because I don't want to be able to see it. So, but anyways, that's kind of where we're at. So I'm going to start running lines. I've got one line which is actually really cool. So there's a hole back here for wires that's big enough to fit this and all the wires through it. So this basically runs straight down there and will feed into the top of the pump, which is the center, and then this is the output side. So this will go to here, and then from here it'll go behind the shroud to the cooler, which is going to sit there like that. So it'll come up, go to the bottom of this. From there it will come and go to my tank, and so my tank is going to mount in here. Well, let me flip it over so you can actually see it. But the tank will mount right in here, and this will be where the water goes. So pretty nice. Just gonna keep cranking. Is it done?
Yeah.
What's it make?
1 PSI.
Really?
And it floods the car.
Seriously?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Huh. And it still pisses out the carb at 1 pound. And can you crank it up from there though?
Oh, I didn't try that. I just turned it on to see what PSI I had, and then it just instantly started coming up.
Okay.
So
maybe float stuck on the carb. Probably about to pull that cap off the top of it. We can check it. I can show you how to do that super easy. Cut to silver car. Alright y'all, so we came up here to help Calvin. Found the issue. Notice this top cap for the Weber is all cracked up around the opening. So when I got this carburetor, it had this AN fitting JB welded to the side of the carburetor. Just in there. And it finally came apart. Guess we've been tweaking on it a little too hard with the AN fittings. So I'm going to have to find another Weber top cap, outfit it for dash 6, and go from there. So it looks like we're on a hold now for this one, which sucks because we were hoping to get it running today.
yeah.
So that way we knew it was good, and then we'd just do the brakes the night before it deals gap and we'd be set. But it looks like I'm going to be working on the silver car this week too. Fun, fun. Fun, fun. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, finally got coolant in it, got some intercooler stuff sorted, jump battery hooked up because I've been cranking on this one. It's got fuel pressure, it should fire. Calvin's going to be on the throttle if we need it, but I think it'll work. Take 4,968. Ready?
Ready.
Listen to that. Great. Look at the turbo. Look at the turbo. 1 Making oil pressure adjust for the light. You can't see it. Oh, here we go. Oil pressure. So, 10.7, a little bit fat. Need to lean that out. 13.8, making beans here. Let's go. Change this to water temp. So she's catching up. Pressure, that's what I'm talking about. Right here is our fuel pressure regulator. We're straight. Yeah. What do you think? Need to play with the low speed a little bit, but that's what I'm talking about.
So what's the verdict on this rig?
I think she's better.
Better?
Y'all can be the judge of that nice little Bernie. But I think we fixed her up good. Ready to do some brake action. Get the brakes working good. And then we'll, ideally it stays running for 2 weeks and we can drive it to the Dragons.